Hey folks, so a little bit about me and a little bit about why I got into trucking. Stay tuned. Decided I was going to do a video of just going to this one location. I'm glad to be off the East Coast, and I'm as far away from planet Jersey as I ever could think of being for the moment. I'm in Alabama. But I had the pleasure of talking with Stephen and Barbara Robinson, and shout out to you guys, and wanted to say that I enjoyed the conversation. He's another gentleman that found me on YouTube, and one of the guys in the 50s. He's in his 50s, and he's just looking to maybe check into doing it because he's getting ready to early retire from his career in the working with water in the city, and he's over a huge plant down there in Texas, so congrats to him. It's stressful, and it is a nice opportunity to, you know, it's kind of funny, the lure, I think, of getting into trucking is, at least for me, it's an adventure. I mean, you know, it's so different. It's so not 9 to 5, and there's a lot of time when you're on the road that it's just you, yourself, and your thoughts. And I think for a lot of people that there's a great attraction to that. But like with anything else, the honeymoon is over very quickly, and you realize there's a lot of inconveniences in life, but there's a lot of inconveniences anywhere in life, so no matter what you do. So, you know, one of the things I tell my daughters is whatever you do in this world, do what you like, because so many times when I had several jobs. I was in sales after I got out of the service. I had several sales jobs looking for the right job for me, and I had a guy when I first tried to get into sales years ago. My father introduced me to him, and it was interesting because I took it a great offense when I heard it, but so true. I think that it really was wise beyond what I thought it was. The guy said to me, he says, based on talking to you, I wouldn't hire you. I think you would be better off to do something where you work with your hands. And I thought, well, screw you. That was rude. And I rejected that, and I stayed in sales, and I did okay. I mean, I like people. I like talking to people. I like talking to you. And so I did okay. But I job hopped a lot because it just was not, I would learn it, get bored with it, and I would go on. And so when I got laid off in 2008, and I got my job, I had several jobs, lost the house, the car. I mean, it was a very tough time for me and my family. I was delivering pizza, cleaning houses, painting houses. I was doing every odd job I could just to keep a couple dollars coming in. I couldn't believe I couldn't find a job, a sales job. But turned out my wife said, what do you want to do? I said, well, if I want to do anything, I used to be a gymnast back in college, and I coached a lot throughout the years, and at one point I coached trampoline and tumbling, which is a discipline of gymnastics. There's rhythmic, artistic, which most people are familiar with, Mary Lou Retton, that kind of thing, bars, beam, floor, and vault, all that stuff. So I was trampoline and tumbling was a fun sport for me, and I taught it for about, I don't know, a couple of years maybe down in Florida. And I come up here in Georgia, I can't find a job, so I went and I found a gym that had a trampoline, and I asked the gym owner, are you making any money on the trampoline? And he said no. I said, well, why don't we try to make some money? I said, I'll split it with you 50-50 minus labor, and you got nothing to lose and I have everything to gain. So he said okay. So it really worked out to be good timing, and it was very was very difficult in that facility because it was not a gymnastics facility by priority. It was a different type of facility. It just happened to have a trampoline in it. So I outgrew that after about 5 years, and then we ended up opening our own business, and that business is running well. So an opportunity came up for me to do this, and I lost my brother 10 years ago, 11 years now, and he was an owner-operator, and I admired him very much, and he'd passed away from a motorcycle accident. It was not his fault. It was a four-wheeler, a truck, another small truck that decided, oh, I got to get off this exit right here, and didn't look, and just took him out. So I thought, you know what? Let's see what it's like to walk in my brother's shoes. And what's funny is doing the gymnastics, which is spotting, a lot of that is hands-on, and doing trucking is definitely hands-on. And I've enjoyed both of those more than anything. So it's interesting. I think that's why a lot of us go through our life, and that's why a lot of the people in their 50s maybe contacted me, because they find they have similar feelings about why is it I'm drawn to this. It's almost like the Old West kind of a thing. But the technology and everything today makes it so much easier. I mean, the hardest part about it is the traffic, the parking, and some of the roads you go down. I wish I got some good footage for you on this little traveling through Mississippi and Alabama, and I wish I had my camera on when my map took me down this one road. It was not a road for truckers. It went from a 2-lane highway, and then it must have been a county road or something, but it didn't even look like the right road to go on when I started to go on it, and I paused for a moment. I really wish I had the footage on it, but it was, picture this. You have rows of trees on both sides hanging over, not over, but hanging into the single road that is part gravel and part asphalt, no shoulder, wide enough for a semi-truck, and that's it. So it's one way, and I don't know which way. And I rode on that for an hour, a mile and a half, and I just kept speaking out loud saying, oh, this is not good, this is not good. All the time thinking, what am I going to do? I got to back up. If I back up, it's a long way to back up. And, you know, you can do it, but it'll take a lot of time. So I kept going forward, and it kept getting worse, and I was like, oh, God. And I'm looking at the map, and that's a tough thing. I'll use 2 GPSs, sometimes 3 when this Navigo works on the Qualcomm, just to compare. And, well, they both came up with 2 different ways, and I took the shorter way, and the shorter way is not always the best way. Anytime you're on a road, if you have a choice, always go with the wider road, the more heavily trafficked road. It's going to be suited for semi-trucks, because a car, a little four-wheeler, could have got through that without any problem, but a semi-truck, and then I had to go over railroad tracks, and thankfully it was fine, it all worked out. But I was just like, oh my God, this was not a road that I should have been on. And the other one sent me around about 2 miles out of the way to get back onto where I finally got onto. So anyway, that's just the lesson I learned there. Was it's not the shortest route that you want to take, it's the fastest route. And even though that the GPS might say it's faster to go this route where it cuts out the interstate and you go through all these highways, in a semi-truck, you're better off to go a little bit further out, keep your speed up, and keep rolling any day. Because when I came into the Midwest from where was it? From Savannah. The route I took was supposed to take me from Savannah down to I-10, to I-10 over, but then this one route said, oh no, go through all these little towns, which I was like, you know, I got plenty of time on my clock, I'll do that. It was awful. And the problem with that is you're going 35, 45, 55, 50, 45, 40, 45, 45, 45, 30. You just keep going up and down, and you can't use the cruise control that well on it. So what you want to do is you want to just be careful, because some of these cops don't like big trucks in their town. So it's better off, once again, to go around the big side. So anyway, take a look at some of the footage, and I've got some interest. Send me a message on some videos that you want to see out there. One of the ones I wanted to do was smoking cigars and how it works in trucking, as far as where I get my cigars and stuff like that. Another one is sleeping. I wanted to do a video to show you how I set up. There's lots of different things that I didn't know about when it comes to sleeping in a truck. So I'm going to do a video on that. That's very interesting. I try to do things that are, because I still look at myself as an outsider. I'm not the career trucker. I give these guys big kudos. I mean, when I meet somebody that's been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years, I admire that. I talked to a guy in a restaurant, and he said he'd been doing it for 30 years. He's the owner operator. I said, man, I admire that. That to me is like true trucker. I mean, that's awesome. The things that he's sacrificed and the things that he's seen have all been, quite the story. So there's a lot of stories out here in these trucks. So I'll keep sharing them. We'll talk to you soon.